everyone. Day 2. Couple things really quick. So yesterday I realized I probably should have projected my voice more and been a little more outgoing like I am. So I'm going to work on that. Turn the radio down. Thing number 2. Picked a name for the channel yesterday. The name is going to be Hardworkin Ways, which is just a way of touching on how I feel hard work and those ways or that lifestyle can pay off for everybody in this beautiful country. This is America, it's the land of opportunity. Get out there, do something with your time, enjoy your time, work hard, spend time with your family. You know, I take the kids fishing, I take the kids hunting. We do all these fun things. You can hike, you can travel. A lot of world out there. Don't waste any time. Life's short. Moral of that story. And thing 3. I'm going to try to keep all the episodes fairly short, like 10 minutes. And here's why. I mean, there will be some long ones, I'm sure. The 10-minute number for me is about as much as my daily attention span could take to watch somebody ramble on about where they're at or how their day went or anything. Some videos might be quicker, but I think there's some really long podcasts out there. I think there's some really long videos out there, and I don't know how people find the time to watch them and listen to them. That's going to be a topic of conversation. How much time my lifestyle consumes in a day, how busy one can be. I think there's a lot of people that think they're busy. They are busy, some people. Some people are not as busy as they nearly think. There's much more time they could fill and better utilize their time during the day. So, what was one other thing I wanted to touch on? I'm going to try to keep the videos on the days I post them. Like yesterday, I said, Happy Monday. And that's great. What if I don't get that video posted on Monday? Like yesterday, I didn't get it up. I haven't even had time yet. So I either got to wait until next Monday, or you might see a Monday video show up on a Wednesday. No matter what you see of me, you're going to be looking into the past, so I guess it doesn't really make a difference. So we'll just see how that goes and bear with me on that. Yesterday was a good day at work. We survived yesterday. One thing I will touch on, one of the topics is going to be in the future, being able to pivot on your feet and adjust and not get upset, not get crazy about it, because it happens. And like for me at work, with the balance between working on or in substations, that's my core concentration, substation electrician, and then working on the way we're structured at work, traffic lighting, which is kind of its own facet, along with any other problems that come up. It bounced around a lot. So we do substation maintenance, we do traffic lighting, and we do like inside electrical building maintenance type work, new builds on any infrastructure for electrical work in our building, our main building, our shop, as you would call it. And that can be a lot for two guys. Between planning and implementing and whatnot. So you gotta be able to pivot on your feet, and you gotta be able to take, I think, one of the big things I've always worked on is take your negative energy, take the frustration, because boy, in my 20s, I could really get frustrated over some stuff, and just channel it and use it, and just remain positive, because wasted energy is wasted energy. One, you never get that time back. Two, it's just unproductive, right? takes about the same amount of energy to be productive and positive as it does to be negative and unproductive. So stay positive. It's all work. Everybody has frustrating days sometimes. Don't bring it home. Try not to bring it home. You know, it's not your wife and kids' fault, or your mom, or your dog, or your cat, or whatever you go home to. It's not their fault they had a frustrating day. And one thing I've learned in life, there's usually going to be a curveball almost every day. Deal with it. Work through it. Learn from it. Learn from it. And I say that again, learn from it. Learn from everything. You learn something new every day. And one of the big things I'll harp on is that I say learn from it. Hold that knowledge. Knowledge is free. Knowledge is something nobody can take away from you. It is yours. Some of the smartest, richest, most successful people in the world, they'll play that cut on repeat. The fact that knowledge is yours, and once you have it, nobody can take it away from you. Okay? So that's that. We're gonna have to do probably a full video. I won't be able to get into it right in part of a video. My backstory, how I got from high school to a 36-year-old guy, and that one might be a little bit longer, who's responsible for an entire electric department's substation maintenance and traffic lighting system, with a light supervisory role and whatnot. How that whole thing transpired over probably, I graduated in 07 from college. 2027 would be 20 years. 17 years. And I can remember, it's one of the things I want to impress upon a lot of younger guys and girls coming out of college, coming out of high school. I can remember thinking, never going to get anywhere, never going to get anywhere, never going to get ahead. I'm never going to end up in a leadership role. I'm just going to work and work and work and work. And listen, a lot of generations just worked and worked and worked and worked. So 10 years feels like an eternity in a career path sometimes. There's people that did those career paths 30, 40, 50 years in previous generations. Think back on that for a second. How many days those guys came home, and girls, husbands, wives, family members, just tired, dragged out, doing the same work for that amount of time. So us younger generations coming behind them could have the things we wanted in a better life, right? So it took like 15 years for me to really feel like I gained the traction and I got where I wanted, and all that hard work paid off. And I want to point out a little bit the earmarks or the things that I think about looking back, and these little milestones that happened, or things that happened that I didn't necessarily notice in the moment. However, they were pretty critical, or they were little milestones that I didn't notice for those goals to happen, or those goals, just kind of was showing that those goals were happening, I should say, and I was getting there, that success was happening. One of the big things we will talk about is, you hear people say, well, it's not my job to do that. It's not your job to do that. There's a lot of jobs I've done, there's a lot of things I've done that weren't necessarily my job to do that, or I was getting paid to do another title, a lesser title, and having to do more of the work. Well, in the world, there's kind of a little show me, right? And you get people that say, I'm not doing that, it's not my job. I have never gotten anywhere with that. Sometimes when you show your boss or supervisor, or maybe you don't even do it intentionally, right? You take the initiative and you do it. This is going to be key. Hone in on this. You take the initiative and you do it. You take the job. Maybe the job with a little more work. And some people do that because that's in their nature and they want to. Some people might do that because they've come to the realization that hard work can pay off. And at some point, a supervisor, a manager, somebody above you is going to notice, hey, that guy, whether you go to work, whether you remote work, that guy works fairly hard and picks up the slack. Now, some places, if you work for a company or a person that probably isn't the best manager, best managed, some companies will abuse that. You do have to watch that. Some companies will abuse your want to work harder and just use you to get more done. But in a lot of aspects or a lot of times, somebody's going to notice that you, by nature, work harder. And the next thing you know, you get pulled off to the side, you get pulled in a meeting, and they say, we'd like to consider you for this, or we'd like to consider you for that promotion. Or your opinion and your judgment gets recognized and your input is more valuable. Because you've proven that your input is worthwhile. You've proven that you provide valuable insight and you work hard. And that goes someplace. At least in my experience. I've never looked back so far and said, man, I wish I worked less. Man, I wish I didn't put in the extra effort or go the extra mile. Not once have I thought that what I did was wasted effort. Because even if you do something and it doesn't totally pan out, that effort was educational. You should be learning something from an effort that didn't work out the way you wanted it to. So you do it better the next time. And at some point, if you're doing one given task, in my opinion, you're going to peak and you're going to run out of room to improve that task. But for the most part, most tasks you can get better at, cleaner at. So that's the work hard, learn something, less wasted effort aspect. And a lot of that will come up and maybe you'll see some of that. I want that to maybe, be rolling around in your head when we get to the episode of me talking about the backstory, A to Z, the last 15 to 18 years, and all the things that, came into play that got me where I am. The yawn, big one. Night before, did not sleep. So the night before video 1, could not fall asleep. Way too busy that day. But I slept like a rock last night. So I think we're probably close to the 10-minute mark. It covers episode 2 on channel name, some other things that I want to discuss, and some things I had thought about that I probably should have added to yesterday's quick video. So everybody have a great day. Have fun out there. Stay safe and work hard.